because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch, refuse to study a few more hours, refuse to go deeper, to go further. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. That brings joy to my life right there. And that used to hurt me growing up. Now I fucking thrive in that shit. That's the only place to be.
Loneliness is one example, right? Mm-hmm. Growing up as a lonely kid. What you realize is a lot of the things that you feared or hated or were embarrassed about as a child end up being the genesis of the things that you're most proud about as an adult. Mm-hmm. All of the things, in fact, I would go as far as to say there's not one thing in my life that I see as a pure advantage that doesn't have a dark side to it that mm-hmm. came about at some other point as well. So one of the reasons that I spent so much time as a kid in my bedroom listening to audio tapes, because I didn't have anyone to play with, right? Only child, a little bit sort of unpopular. But you roll the clock forward 20 years and what's the 2023 version of an audio tape? It's a podcast. A lot of the things that you love and value in yourself in adulthood mm-hmm. are the light side of something that you were ashamed, fearful, disgusted by when you were younger.
I mean, I think that comes from overcoming. A lot of people, wonder, how did you become this? How did you become so vulnerable? How are you doing a podcast now when you were this kid? You overcame things. You fought them. And now this is what happens. This is on the other side of overcoming. You become very, very powerful when you overcome yourself. All those things you once cowered from, you were afraid of, when you face them eye to eye every day, you now become a person who has a great podcast. That's a difficult one because you have to want it. You have to want to be better. And it starts off with, you have to have pride in yourself. And if you have no pride in yourself, I can't give it to you.
Because you're always going to compromise.
I'm very proud of myself. That's why when people said, no way you can do better than Can't Hurt Me. It's that pride that wakes you up. I call this thing, like, I want to be the standard. Every place I went in the military, there was this ethos about how this place is, how we're going to live, how we're going to represent ourselves. And I walked around and I saw that most people didn't live up to that ethos. I made one for myself on how I want to be